Listen, let me explain how big Africa is, right? You see how big United States is, right? You could take 5 United States and fit it inside of 5 of US.
That's fire.
I mean, all 52, 3, 4 states, whatever. You can take them all, put them inside Africa 5 times. That's how big the continent is. Wow. That's how big it is. So it's a matter of...
Did you know that the Africa you see on most world maps is not the real size of Africa? For a long time, the map we all studied in school has been misleading.
Africa is much bigger than you think. The usual world maps we see in classrooms are actually very inaccurate. Here it looks like Greenland is almost the same size as Africa, but in reality it's 14 times smaller. In fact, Africa is bigger than China, India, the USA, Japan, and most of Europe combined. This is a much more...
Let's talk about why Africa looks smaller than it really is, and what that means.
Did you know Africa is actually way bigger than the world makes it look? The maps we usually see are based on something called the Mercator projection, a method that tries to flatten the round Earth into a 2D surface, and in doing so it totally distorts the actual size of continents. For example, Greenland and Africa look similar in size on most maps, but in reality, Africa is 14 times larger than Greenland. In fact, Greenland is even smaller than just one African country, DR Congo. Now let's talk about Russia. On maps, it looks massive, almost larger than Africa. But here's the truth. You could fit Russia inside Africa, twice. And that's not all. The US, China, India, Japan, and all of Europe, they can all fit inside Africa at the same time.
You know Africa has 54 countries.
Yep.
So why is it that on the map, it looks very small?
It is the victim of the Mercator projection. In 5007, Gerardus Mercator, he fixed this problem. He tried to make navigational lines straight, but there was a twist. And to do this, he had to distort land masses and bodies of water. So it's making the USA, Canada, and Russia look more bigger than they are, and making South America, Africa, and Australia look smaller. Africa is so big that...
Did you know that you can literally fit the United States, China, India, Spain, France, Germany, and the UK all inside of Africa? Probably not, because the map that we're all used to seeing is the Mercator projection, which has a giant flaw of distorting the relative size of land masses due to the Earth's spherical nature. So in reality, Brazil is like the same size as the United States. The United Kingdom can fit inside of Michigan, and Greenland, big ass Greenland, is actually the size of Mexico. We can fit 2 Russias inside of Africa, but the maps don't make it seem that way, do they?
The truth is, the most common World Cup, called the Mercator projection, was created hundreds of years ago for sailors. It made Europe and North America look much bigger, but it shrank Africa and South America. On that map, Greenland looks almost the same size as Africa, but in reality, Africa is about 14 times larger. To give you a perspective, you can fit the United States, China, India, Japan, and most of Europe inside Africa and still have room left.
Massive. You could fit China, India, Mexico, the US, and Japan inside it, and there would still be plenty of space left. Just one country, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, is bigger than Norway, Sweden, and Finland combined. But it's not just the land that's big. Africa is home to 1.4 billion people.
So maybe former South African President Jacob Zuma was onto something when he said this.
All continents put together will fit into Africa.
Let me show you something. This is the world map, and this is wrong. What if I told you that from here to here, it's 6,400 kilometers, but from here to here, which only looks like half the size, is 7,200. The continent of Africa has been shown smaller than it actually is. What if I told you that Greenland was only this size? Or Russia was this size? Or the US and Canada were much smaller? You know what? This is the real map. Look at Sweden, Finland, and Norway. They're much smaller now. Or Greenland is tiny. Maybe It wasn't practical. But it seems unfair towards Africa. Why haven't we been told this in school?
Africa is massive, not just in land, but also in resources, culture, and people. Yet the maps we grew up with made it look small, almost as if to downplay its importance. So next time you look at a world map, remember Africa is not small. It's a giant continent full of opportunities and history. Maybe it's time we start seeing Africa for what it really is, the heart of the world. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories from Africa and the world.